But yes, hello, my name is MrSudowoodo, and today we're having a little bit of a late night session, but we're going to go over the Season 11 patch notes first, because there's a lot coming. A lot of shit coming. New map, new character, new weapon, PvE on the map. That's like a normal thing. So we're just going to hop into this and run through some stuff here. Throw my camera in the bottom right here so it's not in people's way. So yeah, Apex Legends Escape, that's the season 11 name for the patch. New content. First off, new legend Ash, a new legend with a familiar face. Ash is overseeing the arenas from the shadows and held a tight grip on Pathfinder's heart. As everybody knows from the season 10 introduction, Ash was the character that kind of runs the arena. And if you run onto Olympus over in Turbine area, there's that one Marvin bot that you can go interact with. Ash was part of that Marvin bot interaction. A simulacrum made from the woman who was once Dr. Ashley Reed. Ash is determined to eliminate every trace of weakness that held her back as a human, detecting death wherever she goes, spearing enemies with electric stares that lock them in place, tearing through space to take them alive. So it'd be easy to think that there was nothing human left within that cold steel. But a trace of the human doctor remains, and she poses a greater threat to Ash than any legend in the ring. Her passive, she's able to go up to death marks to recent death bosses and get a special prompt to mark the surviving attackers. You just get a ping of where that team was that just killed this team, if they're still alive. Information is information. I don't know how long that ping lasts for. I don't know how far that. I think that ping could go basically across the map from as long as I know. I mean, it's strong, right? Even if you get the information that the team's still within close, info is info. That's really good. Her tactical is arc snare, throwing spinning snare that damages and tethers the first enemy that gets too close to it. If you play Valorant, it's like getting hit by a cipher tripwire. So if I throw within an area, you'll get tagged and you start getting slower and slower and slower. And I can clearly see where that snare is going to. Like if I'm peeking at it from behind cover, I know where that snare is going. It's a lockdown tool, allows her to get in or even set up a trap for people if people are chasing her to stop that chase. Really strong. I believe it's gonna be really strong. And then her ultimate is Face Breach, which is what people are dubbing the Wraith Killer. Tear open a one-way portal to a targeted location. The portal stays open for a short time, during which anyone can use it. It's a one-way portal. So I start from wherever I start to wherever I go. That's the only direction you can go, is what I'm getting. The only direction. So if I fuck up my portal's fucked. Is it a quick get in, get out tool? Absolutely, it'll be strong. And it looks like the travel time is just as long as it takes like a Wraith portal, like a far Wraith portal, or just that interaction of a Wraith portal. So it's gonna be strong. It's gonna be really good. But again, it's just one way. It's not, you can't use it back and forth. It's just a one way. So you have to be wary when you're using it. But I think it's gonna be really strong. I think she's gonna have a nice, kind of like a trapper situation. I don't think she's gonna be a full aggro person, even though people are gonna play her full aggro. I think you could kind of use her in like a middle, like a high middle situation, meaning like you don't need to use her full aggressive or use her full defensive. She can play either role. Like she's the flex, right? She can play either role well. I think she's going to fit in really well. New map, Storm Point. This beautiful oasis was once an energy colony for the IMC, and the ruins remain. Many have tried to make a home here, all have failed. A survey of the area revealed the remains of 3 unique settlements built across the centuries, but no survivors. The colony lay abandoned, only visited by an occasional pirate or castaway. Now the mercenary syndicate has plans for their own of their own for Storm Point. It looks so enticing, but the pristine beaches and crystal waters are just the eye of the hurricane. All around, dangerous squirrels, wild prowlers, venomous spiders, and the gathering storm only add to tension in the air. Now the legends are here to make this place their own. So it looks like Storm Point is only to get more dangerous. Check out our blog, our details here. It is the first map that is introduced with PvE, aside from like true ongoing PvE. Obviously there was the Bloodhound trials that had the prowlers. Or in Kings Canyon, you had the big dino boys that kind of went stompy stomp. or the flyers and stuff like that. But the spiders and the prowlers were actively trying to hunt you, or if you trigger them, they'll actually try to kill you. So I think it's gonna be a fun mix. You might be just fighting another team and hear spiders pop off, or hear prowlers, prowling. And know that there's enemies around you, or know where your enemies are going because they triggered those PvE monsters, right? So it's gonna be a weird, interesting new dynamic that people are gonna have to get used to. I'm excited for it. I don't think anything's gonna be too overpowered to kill. From what I've seen, the spiders drop like health stuff, like syringes and cells and stuff like that. So there's at least still some positive to the PvE, right? It's not just wasting my ammo killing these things to keep them off. So at least there's some positive to it. So I mean, we just gotta see what goes from there. But I'm excited. Battle Royale map rotations. There's 2 maps in. Stormpoint and World's Edge are in. Stormpoint being a whole new map, we want to make sure players have plenty of time to master the new arena. Makes sense, right? New map in. Make sure that map's in there. Your mic just got a lot louder. Yeah, I know. I bumped it up because I knew it was a little low. I personally don't like World's Edge, but I understand why it's in here. The map rotation, obviously Stormpoint I get. But yeah, so that's the battle royale map rotations. So King's Canyon, Olympus are out. Stormpoint and World's Edge are in. Simple as that. Arenas map with the introduction of Encore, which I'm assuming is from Stormpoint. The arena map rotation will now include only the custom-made arenas maps. Will not be using BR location for reason escape in the escape update. Ooh, so everything that was a POI from the maps. So like artillery was one, thermal station was another, gardens was another map. They're taking those out, and only the specifically made arenas maps, the custom made arenas maps are only going to be in rotation. I like that. I don't mind that. New weapon, Car SMG. This is a versatile SMG that allows you to use both light and heavy ammo and their corresponding attachments. The car hits hard but handles light. This hybrid weapon is the best of both worlds for when you're ready to take a stand and become the most dangerous thing on the island. I'm wondering if because I've only seen minimal gameplay, so I can't really have an opinion on this. If you're using light ammo, does it take the light ammo qualities? And if you're using heavy ammo, does it take the heavy ammo qualities? For people that don't know, if you're using like a heavy ammo gun, like a prowler, like a flatline, like a rampage, that first hit that you get on a person slows them. So if the car SMG is able to do that, and you're able to swap back and forth between it with ease, right? Like a flick of a switch, or maybe reloading swaps between light and heavy. If I'm able to just stay in a heavy ammo situation and just go right, and just there's like the first shot slows, that's a really good SMG. From what I've seen, it shoots slightly slower than the R99, like in between the R3 and the R99. But if it has that heavy ammo slowing factor, this is going to be ridiculously strong. I cannot wait to use this. Ranked updates. Hello, let's just take a quick look at how ranked and emergence is shaped up. Review. Rank continues to attract large portion of players around 40%. Blah blah blah. Issues. So now there's more skilling. To expand the first point, tier differences between the killer and the victim will take into account when calculating based like kill point values. For example, for plat player, because the diamond player, that kill counts is 12 instead of 10. So it depends on the placements of the person you are fighting. About how much RP you're getting. If you're fighting up, so if I'm a plat fighting a diamond, I get more. If I'm a diamond fighting a plat, I get less. So that's what it is. It's just, it depends on the tier that you're up, right? Like if for some reason I'm a gold fighting a diamond and I kill that diamond, that's huge for me. And then placements. So first place gets 15 bonuses per kill. Interesting. So that's all that is. They're just adjusting their important values a little bit, which isn't bad. Ranked arenas now has 2 splits, similar to BR. The soft MMR reset, sure, improvements have been made to matchmaking for finding similarly skilled teammates, fine. Reduce the AP amount gained or lost from MMR differences between teams, fine. This is the most exciting point for me in this entire patch notes. Because I've already seen, I wish Overwatch was just pen with how the ranking system fucking worked. I wish, right, I think Apex Legends, and I've played a lot of games, I've seen a lot of ranked modes, and I've seen different versions of ranked modes. I think Apex Legends has a very, very good ranked mode that makes you want to stay in and grind, because it keeps you in, right? Looking for those points. With the kills and placements, it makes you want to keep going more, versus then some people will just throw because like their team is ass, or some people will or you can't just like full carry a team in some games, right? Like for instance, Overwatch, you can't full carry a team at all. You can go off as as a tracer, or it could be keeping your team alive as a Zenyatta, and it won't mean shit. Over so fucking random, I never know where I'm gonna stand. Right, like you don't know where it's gonna happen, and you can be the hero star doing everything, and it won't matter. Versus Apex Legends, you can have the hero moments, still win the game, and still do really well, or even those hero moments still gives you a lot of points towards your rank. It's really I love the way their system is set up. But Wattson is getting so buffed. It's so good. So first off, let's read the dev notes, right? Move aside Ash, this is Wattson season. We're ecstatic to finally share some long anticipated Wattson improvements. Her win rate and encounter win rate have always been above average. This could be for a multitude of reasons. Her defensive playstyle correlates to higher average placements. Wattson mains are a diehard loyalist, and her hitbox has been the smallest in the game ever since Lifeline's adjustments. Regardless, much of the high level data that we've shared doesn't match perception. Play a few games as Wattson, you'll often find yourself wanting more out of her kit. The goal of these changes is to redistribute her invisible power into the parts of her kit that shape the battlefield in a unique way. We wanted to see what changes could spark more consistency and efficacy in her kit, and ideally ground some of the difficulties surrounding the way her abilities work. We want to enable more active gameplay for Wattson players by smoothing out the rough edges and placing fences. Responsiveness tweaks, longer range, and faster cooldowns mean that Wattson can much more quickly and reliably set up a defensive position, or even use her fences and pylons in the midst of open combat in a pinch. So general changes: improve the reliability and responsiveness of placing Wattson's tactical and ultimate in open world objects. Good. Being able to use her stuff, positive. Fine. Wattson can place her tactical and ultimate on objects on valid surfaces above Wattson's eye level to a reasonable extent. Because like you can only place it on ground level. So now if I can place it on just a rock that's slightly higher, because there's a lot of like high ground, low ground fights where I can just go bonk bonk, and you wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to drop up and then drop down. So now being able to to already do that now, fantastic. Gives her a little bit more viability. The general hitbox size increased to compensate the removal of the low profile in Legacy update. Sure, she gets a little wider, she gets a little thicker. Fine, cool, whatever. Now the fun stuff begins. Her tactical, the perimeter defense, increased damage on crossing fence by 33% from 15 to 20. 5 damage if you're crossing through a lot of fences is pretty big. Even a 20 damage alt for him is still huge. Increased debuff duration on crossing a fence by 100%, 1.5 to 3 seconds, meaning you will have a 3-second slow. Holy fuck, 3 seconds is a lot. Increase the time allowance to be hit again by subsequent fence by 100%. So you need a full second to be hit by another fence. A full second, which is fine. I'm already slow for 3. I don't want to be slow for 6 indefinitely. Right? Like, holy shit. Decreased recharge rate by 50% from 30 seconds to 15 seconds. That's huge. I'm pretty sure Caustic's traps are like 20 seconds, something like that right now. So she has a lower recharge rate than Caustic traps, and Caustic's meta right now. Increased placement range by 50%, so she can just place it farther. Decrease the delay between fences shutting off and reactivating after an ally passes through them by 60%. So 1 second to 0.4 seconds. Less than half a second for a fence to go inactive. Great, right? That one, if you're getting chased and you run through your teammate's Wattson's fence or your own fence, that 1 second was a make or break. Now with a smaller timer, they can't be on your ass about it, right? Because they'll get hit. That's fantastic. Wattson now moves at unarmed speed while readying/placing fence nodes. Holy fuck, that's fantastic. You move faster. For people that don't know Apex Legends, you move faster if you holster your weapons. It's a slight increase, but you move a little bit faster. At first, she was moving if you had at the speed of if you had your weapon out. So now being able to move at an unholstered speed or at a holstered speed, she's quick. She can be zip zap zoopity zop all over the map, placing her fences. Fantastic. Fence nodes can now be placed as soon as the weapon is ready instead of waiting for the animation to finish. Meaning you could just go press button, click, click, instead of waiting for her hand to come out, which is also, it's just a quality of life change. It's fantastic. All good things here. Nothing here is bad. All good things. And then there's the ultimate, which still gets wild. Interception Pylon. The pylon output has been significantly reworked. Reduce the number of active pylons while things can place from 3 to 1. So you can only have one ultimate out now, which is fine because most people would kind of just plop the ultimate and run anyway. So sure. The pylon now lasts forever instead of timing out after 90 seconds. You place that pylon down, if nobody touches it and you come back 10 minutes later, that pylon's still fucking there. Wild. The pylon now has a pool of 250 shields that can be distributed to nearby players instead of effectively infinite shields. Cool. Not bad. Increase the pylon shield recharge rate by 150% and smooth regen rate. 2 per second to 5 per second, or more accurately, 1 per half second versus 1.1 over a quarter of a second, or just slightly over a fifth of a second. Like, that's really quick, right? If we're thinking about it, 2 per second to 5 per second, like, that's really good. A white shield is 150. 30 seconds standing next to the pylon gets you white shields. Back up to white shields, which is 2 bars. 2 bars. That's ridiculous. And again, you have the pool of 250 shields that gets shared amongst everybody, but that recharge rate is quick. When a pylon is out of shields, it can no longer recharge its player's shields, but can still zap incoming ordnance. Fine, makes sense. Taking damage while regenerating shields via the pylon delays continued regeneration by 1 second. So it won't keep, if you're taking damage, it won't take from the pool if you're taking damage. Makes sense. Why are you memeing on me? Why you do? The UI on the ground and HUD elements now displays the amount of shields that remain in the pylon. Good. Pinging a friendly pylon will now display the percentage of shields remaining in the pylon. Also good. So just information to understand how your ultimate is working. Fine. Pylon ordnance zapping has been moderately reworked. Ordnance is now zapping the pylon detects that it would hit any surface within range and line of sight of the pylon instead of being zapped as soon as it comes within range. As a part of the changes, current issues where the pylon doesn't reliably zap ordnance, particularly concerning airstrike abilities and ordnance that bounced off surfaces near the pylon, should now be addressed. There's been a lot of clips that I've seen from people, members of my community, members of the esports org, and just online where Watson stuff like the pylon just isn't working. Hello?
Sir.
Wifey. What was I saying? Yeah, so I've seen a lot of clips of Watson players or people using Watson in general where the pylon just doesn't want to fucking work. Where like you'll clearly a thermite's thrown by it and it's just like, it's a beautiful day. It just doesn't, nothing, not a single thing. So now it's just, it works or should work. Perfect. Supply drop rotations. The triple take is now out. The G7 is now in. The G7 with double tap trigger is in the care package now. Triple take now, an energy consuming marksman, charge time from 0.8 to 1.1. which is the pre-crate value, which means it just takes a little bit longer to charge, which is fine. Mag increase at all tiers. Base is 18, white is 21, blue is 24, purple is 27. Big ammo consumed per shot increased to 3. Ammo required per shot increased to 3. So realistically, 6 shots, 7 shots, 8 shots, 9 shots. Still not bad. Goes up by 1. Not bad. Hop ups, dual shell. Each round loaded into the massive for the 30-30 is doubled. So for those that are understanding this, the massive has 6 shots, so it goes click, click, click. I don't know if it fucks with the reload. I don't know if it messes with the reload of it. In terms of it takes longer to put the dual shell in, but if it's still the regular reload speed of the massive or 30-30, I mean, massive goes from 0 to 6 shells, bop, 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 done. Right? Or 30-30 with purple mag is maybe, I think purple mag is upwards of like 15 to 18 shots. Right? So if it's 8, I mean, it would have to be even. So if we're going off of 18, that's what? 9? No. 18 is half of, what's half of 18? Holy shit, math. 9 to 10, right? I think 9 is basically, 9. Just bop, 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 bop. My math fucking my head. Jesus. But regardless, quick. Incredibly quick. Can keep you in the fight moving quickly, which is good. Fully kitted rotation. Remove the Peacekeeper, Rampage, RE45 flatline charge rifle. Added in the massive 30-30 R301 car longbow. These are good fully kitted weapons. I don't give a fuck about 30-30, honestly. Everything else is nutty. This is going to be a very good, very, very good fully kitted rotation. Because otherwise, I didn't really know anybody that picked up the RE45 unless like they just got it off rip. Flatline, yes. PK, yes. Rampage, when the season first came out, yes, but otherwise not really. Fire rate of the EV8 reduced from 2.1 to 2, so it's just a little slower. PK slightly increased the pellet size, so it goes, the actual bullet size instead of this is like that, so it's just increased. Choke up time reduced from 1.5 to 1.25, so it chokes up faster. Chokes up shots remain tight for slightly longer when exiting ADS. Because it would normally be like you would aim in to get the choke shot and then come out, and that would automatically pull. It would keep it a little bit longer up while you're coming out of ADS. Not bad. Longbow damage reduced from 60 to 55. This is the meta sniper right now, so they're just tweaking it. It still hits like a truck. It's still gonna be wild. Even this honestly doesn't really do anything for me. The L-Star reduced bullet barrel effectiveness at all rarity tiers, significantly reduced projectile collision size, damage reduced from 18 to 17. It's still gonna be accurate. It still hits 1 damage per shot. It still hurts, right? I mean, it's gonna be smaller, so you have to aim a little bit better, but it's still gonna hurt. The L-Star has been a force to be reckoned with this season, so we're taking a big swing and hitting its projectile size and damage in an effort to bring it down a notch. Depending on how significantly reduced this is not going to matter. It's not. And honestly, this is being mainly used like by controller players, so the aim assist just helps it regardless. It's not going to matter. G7 damage increased from 34 to 36 and double tap added to the supply drop G7. This is just its normal supply drop rates and changes. Increased damage because it's supposed to be a higher tier gun. This is okay. I like double tap being back on it. It's going to be crazy if you get an early game. If you guys actually play it slow and play like a mid-pace game, it's going to be really good. Supply drop weapon rates. Early game crate weapon rates increased from 25 to 50%. Mid game crate weapon rate increased from 50 to 75. Late game crate weapon rate increased from 75 to 100%. Meaning the rate at which you will find a gun in that care package is increased. So half the time in the early game you'll find a gun. 75% of the time in the mid game you'll find a gun, and every time in the late game there will be a gun. That's what that means. Hot zone gold loot rates increase the amount of gold loot that spawns in the hot zones. Good, because I don't really. There's times I go in the hot zones and they ain't no gold shit. That's fine by me. Crafting. Increase ammo from crafting. Thank God. You don't get you get a full stack now of each. You will get a full stack. Crafting ammo price increased from 5 to 10 per weapon, which is fine. But I mean, times it by 3 Like, you're getting a full stack regardless is great. Evil armor points for crafting increased from 100 to 150, meaning if you drop early and evil armor points cost increased from 45 to 50. Replaced a sniper bundle with a shotgun bundle featuring the dual shell. That's fine. Meaning if you drop early and as a replicator and you get enough points, you can take your white armor and the blue, no problem. Instead of getting the 100 and still having to do 50 damage or wasting another craft, you just get it to blue. Fine. Enemy NPC updates. Prowler health across the game has gone up from 90 to 114. Start point on World's Edge. Prowlers on World's Edge and Flyers and Kings can now reward Evo points. 25%. All damage done to AI now rewards progress search of evil armor. Good. You would just shoot it and it just went, like if you did the Bloodhound trials, you would sit there and do all that and waste all your ammo and got nothing from it. So at least now you can upgrade your armor, which isn't bad. Arena supply drop. Supply drop now land outside the first ring if possible and land 10 seconds earlier. So it will spawn in while the ring is closing and will spawn outside the ring. Not bad. Purple weapons now spawn more in earlier rounds. Round 1, 3 blue goes to 1 purple and 2 blue. Round 2 is 1 purple and 2 blue. 2 purple, 1 blue, and round 3 is all purple. Supply drop no longer spawns blue havoc or devotion or gold RE. Sure. Weapon rights updates. Mozambique. All this shit. I don't really care for. I don't care for about the whatchamacallit. The arenas. I don't play it, and most of the people that watch me and my content don't play for arenas. So if you want to look at this, look at it yourself. It's all this stuff is either increased or decreased. Sure. Quality of life. UI teammates will now show that they're self-reviving on their in-world game tags. Add a voiceover for players to communicate they're out of ammo. Nice. Update the arena map rotation images to show up to 5 maps. Update a social awareness badge to lock to default for all accounts. Cool. And then a bunch of bug fixes. I am excited for this patch. I know every patch I say I'm excited. I am truly excited for this patch because man, let's go from the top here, right? I mean, Ashe looks like she's gonna be a menace on the field. She's gonna be fantastic. A new map, new content's always raised. Stormpoint looks like it's gonna be an interesting mix of PvE and PvP, which I think this game's been missing aside from the Bloodhound trials, which is gonna be great. The car SMG looks like it's gonna be a menace, depending on how the ammo situation works with all that. And then I mean, Watson. Look at all the information on Watson. That's a lot of info on Watson. The pylon changes, the fence changes, the movement changes for her fences, her effectiveness with the fences and the pylon actually fucking working now. The reliability on it, the recharge rate of shields on it. Watson, if you are a good Watson player now, you will be an even better Apex Legends player. You are going to be an unstoppable force because nobody knows how to play against Watson. And now you're telling me that people that are good with it, like if you're part of the SXR community, King Barrett's a Watson main. He is going to run through people with Watson now, without a doubt in my mind. This is going to be really good. I'm excited to see how this patch notes go. Patch goes live on Tuesday, November 2nd. I'll be there streaming it. And I can't wait. It's going to be a good one.